really? Shut up, you two. Oh, you to tell me to shut up. I am the boss, like you shut up. Never make your boss out of it. We were friends and I nominated you. Okay, and I admitted that to you. I said, cool, my bad. I'm a human being and I don't take that back.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Azaka. If this is your first time on my channel, you're very welcome. If you're a not subscriber, mwah, I got mad love for you. I know you're wondering what this pimple is doing here, but don't get distracted because that is not an issue today. Because today we have some sweet juice from BBNAIJA Reunion, and today the show started off with Ebuka asking the housemates what was the biggest misconception people had about them. But before I get to that, guys, did you guys see Ebuka's shirt? I loved it. It had Son of God encrusted on it. Really nice. And just to say, the housemates were really looking pink today. Of course, there were some of the housemates that were looking not so pink, but all the same, most of them were looking really nice. Anyways, Batoni was the first to speak, and guess what she said? She said the biggest misconception people had was that or that someone said about her was that anyone approaching her didn't have taste. And then I was like, okay, where did you get this one from? Because this is my first time hearing this, so how could you have arrived at this conclusion? But anyways, move on from that. V said that the biggest misconception was the issue around pepper and food. If you recall, during the time in the house, V said that, or rather people said there was this thing that V used to put a lot of pepper in her food so that people that didn't like pepper wouldn't eat her food. So V was like, she wasn't doing that on purpose to stop anybody from eating her food. But Dorothy was like, no, remember that you came to tell me that you have a lot of pepper in your food just so that I don't eat the food. And V was like, I was not intentionally putting it for you to not eat. It's just I like pepper, so I put a lot of pepper. Dorothy was like, no, I have ulcer, and so I feel like you did it intentionally. But guys, it's not that serious. Sometimes when I know that my brother doesn't want to eat pepper, I can put plenty pepper in the food so that he will not come and join me and finish my food. But it's not like I don't love him. And then they had a ballot. They asked the housemates to tell or to say who the biggest gossip was, and by popular demand their votes were Brighto, Neo, and Lucy, right? So they asked them why they felt like people thought they were gossips and all. Brighto says he doesn't really know, maybe because he was talking with a lot of people. Neo said he felt like that was a misconception based off of the fact that he used to talk a lot. So if you talk a lot, then there's a likelihood that you're a gossip. But he doesn't think that he's a gossip or whatever. He was just telling people about himself, was just putting himself out there, which was the reason why he even came into the show in the first place. Then Ebuka asked Praise about the situation with his fiance, or rather ex-fiance now, because they are no longer together, and what Brighto said. You would recall that Brighto said she was it 46 or 56 years, I can't remember, but I remember saying then, like, why is that even a topic of discussion? Why is Brighto even talking about this? Like, people, like, sometimes some things people say, I'm like, why is this even a conversation? Anyways, Praise said that when he got out of the house, his fiancée wasn't finding it funny at all, and she wanted an apology from Brighto. And Brighto said, guy, you know they get any apology from me. Well, he didn't say it like that, but he said he doesn't think he owes her any apology or whatever. And Ray said that, you know what, if you don't want to apologize, it's fine, let's move on from that. And that was that. Then of course, Ebuka, being the person that he is, threw another shot. He asked Lilo if she felt like what happens in the diary room, if she thinks it is gossiping, and she said not really. However, if the person in the diary room is talking about a friend that the person is close to, but the person hasn't told the friend what they're talking about in the diary room, she considers it to be gossip. And then Ebuka asked about the V situation. You recall that Lilo and V were kind of close in the house, and then V, nominated Lilo. So Lilo was like, she was just shocked because she and V were friends, and so she didn't understand why V would nominate her. V was like, when we got out, I already apologized, but just for the sake of the show, I'm going to say it. I actually think you did not want to be in the house so bad. That was why I nominated you. And they were like, how did you arrive at this conclusion that she doesn't want to be in the house so bad? And she was like, because she was always following Eric up and down, up and down. But how does following Eric up and down says that she doesn't want to be in the house? Guys, and besides, Lilo was your friend. Why didn't you tell her, babe, they follow this guy too much, your head is not in the game, or whatever? Like, why do people just... Anyways, different stroke for different folks. And then Lilo was like, but you never had that conversation with me. And besides, Eric was also up and you saved him. You did not save me. I'm supposed to be your friend. And then V said she messed up huge time and that she's human and that it happens for people to, you know, mess up and all. And so Lilo was like, so then when I told you about the fact that I had the boyfriend outside the house and I was a bit, you know, in between Eric and my boyfriend, why did you tell me to forget my boyfriend and focus on Eric because Eric is someone that has my back? V was like, that was what I said, yes, but I did not tell you to lock yourself in the room with Eric and be with Eric 24/7. That wasn't what I told you. So they moved on from that, and then Ebuka now asked Lucy about Tochi, right? That what was it about him that made her so, you know, passionate and everything, when she was, you know, judging matter to Dorothy, and I don't know, Dorothy was making somebody's hair. Anyway, Lucy said that it's because she felt like Tochi used to listen to some people, and when it was her turn to be head of house, Tochi wasn't listening to her. When Nengi was head of house, when Nengi would say do this, do this, do this, Tochi would listen. But when it was her turn, he didn't listen. And then he now said something about the fact that because he didn't cut onions, that's why they didn't give him food and whatever. And that wasn't the case. The next thing, Ka3na jumped in. However, Ka3na was making points for some reason. She said, you know what, Tochi, did I ever have any issues with you in the house concerning food whatsoever? And then he was like, no, but the first time I came to meet you to give me food or something, you looked at me like someone that did not have food where it was coming from. And then Ka3na was like, but did you say anything though? Did you say anything? And then he was like, no, I didn't have to say anything. You were playing favoritism. There were people that were not even there, and used to get small portion when it comes to get his food. And Ka3na was like, you get small portion because you come late. But Tochi was like, no, you play favoritism. There are people that are not even there and you keep food for them. But when it comes to my turn, you always give me small portion. Why? Ka3na will say, because those people are friends, she liked them. And so it was like, oh, so those people are your friends and you like them. And then she was trying to justify or whatever. And then Tochi was telling her to shush, to shut up. And then Ka3na, trust her, she, don't tell me to shut up, I'm the boss lady, you shut up, blah blah blah. And Tochi said, carry your boss lady to Ikorodu because that boss lady is not for me, it doesn't concern me. Guys, there were several back and forth. Lucy tried to jump in and say something. Tochi was like, don't say anything, I'm not talking to you. And Lucy was like, ah, your Royal Highness. And Ka3na now said that the reason why he wasn't getting food is because he was following people. So guys, let me tell you a quick story. When I was young, right, so my English name is Ruth, right, and so my dad got me the book of Ruth, and then he told me the story and all because I couldn't read, right. And then when I went out one day, somebody asked me what was my name. I told them Ogor Ruth, and then they asked me, what was the meaning of Ruth? And then I told them follow, you know, right, because Ruth in the Bible used to follow her mother-in-law everywhere she goes. So in my head, Ruth has to mean follow. Anyways, moving on from that, they said Tochi used to follow people. Lucy said you were following people that did not even care about you. It was like, who was he following? And he said was following Ozo, was following Nengi, V, and Neo, but those were already like a tight-knit group, and he was just attaching himself. And then he was like, I don't understand. When you came to the house, were you not following people? When we came into the house, all of us, we had people that were following. So don't tell me that, I was following people, I was making friends, you too, you were doing the same thing. Then Ebuka moved on from that and asked Dorothy what her issue with Tochi was, and then she said that it was the fact that the first day she greeted Tochi, and then the next time she noticed that Tochi was waiting for her to greet him. But however, Tochi said that that was not the case at all, that when he saw her the second time, why he didn't say hello was because he was going to brush his teeth. It's not that he said in his head, I'm not going to greet you first. So Tochi was like, but however, there was something that Dorothy did to him that he didn't like, which is why they were never really close in the house. He said when Ka3na was evicted, he knew that Ka3na and Dorothy were a bit close. So he saw that she was sad, he wanted to comfort her, and he went to her and was like, oh, are you okay? And Dorothy just went, don't touch me, don't touch me. And he was like, oh. And then Prince went to her and comforted her, and she did not shout for him, she did not push him away. Tochi, are you a bestie? If you are not a bestie, stop comparing yourself to bestie. Please leave Brighto alone. Okay, Dorothy said there's no longer Brighto, but anyways, she did not shout at Prince, so he felt some type of way, which is why they never really got along in the house. However, Dora said that she didn't really remember this. It's like this food thing really pained Tochi because he still hammered on it again that he doesn't remember who, but one time he went to the kitchen to get food, and the person that was dishing food dished food for Neo, and then the person now took another plate and dished another portion, and the person was like, in case Neo wanted to eat again, and he was like, how far? I never chop, I never even see food chop that they give one person 2 portions. He was really pained, he was pained. Wahala, I could sense it in Tochi's voice. Tochi was pained. Then Ebuka now showed a clip in the house where Tochi and Brighto were having a conversation, and Tochi was saying Mr. Nigeria is not financially capable to date Nengi, and Brighto was, you know, supporting the motion. And then Ebuka asked him, how far? What was this about? He was like, it's not that he was saying Mr. Nigeria was not financially capable, and the housemates were laughing. Tochi, raise your voice. Your voice was loud just now. Raise it. So it's okay. Let us hear what you are saying. He now said, he's going to talk. He's not afraid of anybody. He was just saying that it's not like Prince is not financially capable. It's just that Nengi has said that she's in a relationship. But as Ebuka threw the question at Brighto, the culprit, Brighto just said, Ebuka, you're right. That is what we were talking about. That Mr. Nigeria was not financially capable to date Nengi. So Ebuka was like, how did you arrive at this conclusion? And he was like, everybody knew now. Nengi used to travel a lot, and obviously to sponsor that traveling is not it's not a thing of child's play, it's not a child's play, it's not a small boy's thing. So Ebuka asked him, what about Ozo? Did you think Ozo could afford her? And he was like, he didn't really think about it then, but if you ask him now, he would say Ozo cannot afford to be pulling the plugs, to be carrying Nengi here and there. Ozo cannot afford it. And then they now went back to Prince. Prince now went, I'm so happy that you think I'm not financially capable. I'm financially incapable like you. So when you are in problems, you will not come and meet me. I feel like Prince is just trying to give epic response, but this one did not really enter. Nah, it didn't really enter, because the truth is the truth. I don't think you are financially capable to raise Nengi. Not that I think Nengi needs to be financially bought or whatever, but you need to be on a certain level to afford Nengi. Even she said it with her mouth. Then Ebuka asked Ozo about the financial capability, incapability situation, and threw in the question of an issue that happened with Lilo, Eric, Erica, Trikiti, Watoni, T-Badge and all. But also being the smart boy that he is, thought of a way to just take it out. He didn't really answer anything concerning that. He just said that, yeah, Watoni, Ebuka asked him if he felt like Watoni was a gossip because she was, you know, she went into the room to check what was going on based on what Trikiti had said. And he was like, no. What he saw from the scenario is that Trikiti told them that he thinks that Eric and Lilo are an item, and so she went into the room to confirm if what he was saying was true. When she went into the room, she saw them in a position that, you know, confirmed it, and she just, you know, hailed them and then went to the garden to tell them, yeah, you are right to what you're saying. But anyways, I thought it was Erica and Eric, because Erica and Eric were kind of close at the beginning of the show. Even me, I saw it, but I thought they were just doing namesake thing. But anyways, Ebuka asked Prince concerning the situation, what Watoni did and all of that, and then he was like, he doesn't know why Watoni always felt the need to be in other people's business, whether it was because she wanted to be booed up so bad. I had that opinion too. I still have the opinion that Watoni wanted to be booed up so bad in the house, but right now she's trying to say no, that's not the case, she's just catching cruise. When Ebuka now asked Watoni was like, no, that's not the case, she just wanted somebody that could be her go-to person, and so that's what she was looking for in the house, and everybody in the house wanted somebody that could be their go-to person, so she was not really looking to be booed up. But I don't think that was the case, because if you watch the show, you would see how it was. Watoni, and by the way, when I was seeing the flashback, look at Watoni's shape. Watoni was so hot, but she just put herself down. Like, but anyways, guys, the show finally came to an end with a fan asking Tricky T a question. They asked him if he felt like because he was the oldest housemate, he didn't really connect with the housemates as much, but he responded saying that no, on the contrary, he tries to vibe or jive with everyone, but as much as possible he tried to put himself in a position where no one would, you know, insult him because of his age. And so Ebuka asked him, did that make you hold back a lot? And he said, yeah, to an extent it made him hold back a bit. But anyways, guys, tomorrow I don't know what they have in stock for us. I hope they have sweet hot juice. Guys, if you haven't given this video a big thumbs up, please give this video a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel and tap on the notification bell on the side so you get notified when I post new stuff. Until I see you on the next one, which will most likely be tomorrow. Bye.